Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Odemi Pesu. I am the CEO of Alaere Lifestyle, and this is my YouTube for my company, which creates inspirational art and literature that celebrates the sacred essence of African womanhood. Hopefully the audio is okay. I'm sure I need to actually get a mic for this camera, but bear with me, okay? Okay, so a year ago, actually a little bit over a year ago, I heard very clearly from God, you need to leave your job and focus on this book and actually trust in me that I will use this book to open doors for you. And I can't lie, when I got that message from God, it was just an inconvenient time, isn't it always, right? It was just this inconvenient time because I had just moved to San Diego. I had signed a lease. I was going to the beach every single day. And for the most part, I was happy. But then I was also I was kind of really burnt out with my job. Also, I'm gonna spray some off. But I was just really burnt out, and it was kind of my dream job, so to speak. So I felt a little bit guilty because I was starting to not like it anymore. I didn't like that there were people who kind of had this target on my back because I was young, or because I was a woman, or because I was black, or because I was freaking smart, okay? And that's the thing. But actually, I talked a lot about this in the first episode of my podcast, Alaere Academy, which you can check out. It's live on Spotify. But the first episode, How to Be a Business-Minded Artist, I talk about that transition, that mindset transition from corporate to doing my art and engaging with my art professionally and doing this full time. And I'd say that the biggest thing that I love right now is my time ownership, my time sovereignty. And I think when we talk a lot about sovereignty of mind, body, and spirit, and decolonizing the mind and all of that stuff, it's great in theory, but what does it look like in practice? What does it look like in practice? And I think that being able to do a photo shoot for my business on a random Monday, that is a time sovereignty that I left my job for. I remember when I used to have to schedule in lunch and breakfast, and even if I just wanted to go grab something real quick from Starbucks, I felt this type of panoptic energy where I felt I was always monitored, my time was always being monitored by a manager or by this person or that person, and my productivity was always being monitored and held to the standard of a white man. And honestly, I'm a woman. I am so happy that now I'm able to work in tandem and in harmony with my natural rhythms and with the natural rhythm of the world around me. I don't know if a lot of people do this, but I live my life in sync with my menstrual cycle. So there's certain things that I do when I'm ovulating, and there's certain things that I do when I am menstruating, work-wise. And I think that it's just been so liberating to be able to channel my energy in a way where it's fully reflective of my sovereignty as a woman. Okay, with that being said, I do want to read a poem that I thought about today because it was the best time ever, and just not feeling rushed and feeling wow, I can really just spend time doing what I love, and having it also bring the type of financial abundance that I am working towards, having myself be put in a position where that can still be my priority, but I don't have to necessarily transform myself and alter myself to fit these very rigid boxes. Oh, it feels good. It feels really good. So the poem that I've been thinking about a lot is called My Time Is Mine. And this is a poem in the soil chapter of my book. So if you have purchased the book, thank you. If you do want to purchase the book, it is available wherever books are sold, honestly. Like Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, all of them, and a few other indie bookshops across the US, as well as in Europe and Asia. But if you want to learn more about what bookstores are carrying Force of Nature, you can check out my website, www.alaerelifestyle.com, and see if it's in a bookstore near you. And you can also like request for it to be in a bookstore near you. But, you know, I had to get that full gist. But yeah, this poem is called My Time Is Mine. And before I read it, I want to read a quote that I included by the late Alma Adu right before the poem begins. And it says, "Time by itself means nothing, no matter how fast it moves, unless we give it something to carry for us, something we value, because it is such a precious vehicle, it's time." And she said it all. She said it all. Like, think about how your time sovereignty is. Like, what is the state of your time sovereignty? Do you feel like you have ownership of your time? And like, time honestly isn't really real if you think about it, but I think that as human beings, we created time to kind of measure what we give our life force energy to. And so instead of me saying like, do you feel like you have full sovereignty over your time, I really want you to think about, do you have full sovereignty over your energy? Because it's really our energy that makes a difference. And yeah, like I want you to ponder that a bit while I read this poem. So, my time is mine. I remember that scary plunge. I ran from what I could not yet know. Spiraling, floating, suffocating, pleading, wishing, waiting. Then leaving to seek more, only to find myself repeating the same cycle of sensations over and over. Feeling pain I cannot disclose, not for fear of judgment, but because I fear no one will care. I drink until nighttime feels warm, and then I wake up the next morning and I try again and again, over and over again and again, until I stopped to stare over the ledge and ask myself what I am forgetting, mistaking, hiding, suppressing, holding, ignoring, mourning. And as I began to unpack my heart and heal my mind, I grew some wings and I found a new sky. Now I was flying, soaring, levitating, exploring, rising, ascending, resurrecting, freeing, being, and becoming someone who could hug the sun and kiss the stars and shake the hand of the moon. Because I had taken and owned and protected and finally reclaimed my time. So yeah, when I was writing that poem, I was really thinking about like, what does it mean to take ownership of your time and give it what you want to carry, and give it goals and focuses and just happiness that you have decided for yourself. Especially as African women, I think our cultures put a lot of pressure on us as to what we should be giving our time to. I am in my mid-20s, soon entering the late 20s, and I already know that there are people who think that my time would be best spent trying to secure a husband or trying to figure out how I can get a husband so I can hurry up and have children, and just things like that. And I think that when it comes down to womanhood and sovereignty, and you throw in African culture, and I'm Nigerian, so specifically Nigerian culture, I think that we have to really take a step back and honor our divinity. And as physical manifestations of God consciousness, we don't owe anybody shit, okay? We really don't owe our time to anybody. Our purpose on this earth is to be happy. Our purpose on this earth is to serve God with our gifts. It's to serve humanity with our love and with our peace and with our joy. Like, do we not realize how when women are happy, especially Black women, the world is a better place. It really is. And I think that when we can collectively reclaim our time, we can also collectively raise the vibration of the earth, because we'll just be feeling happier. And a lot of us will be spending time in service, using our divine gifts in service to what makes us happy, but also what can heal other people. Me doing this, like, there's so many people that tell me how my book has touched them, and like I've just had so many opportunities to share my book with new audiences and talk a lot about spiritual fortitude and just spiritual expansion. And I've had so much time now to just really lean into that and use my gifts in a way where I believe like I'm being a missionary of love and light, and I just did not have that time when I was working in corporate America. So, you know, this is not to completely see these buzz, they try at me. Back to the fan. Now, this is not to completely bash corporate America. I mean, even though these spaces were not necessarily created or built with us in mind, this is just to say, all right, when you walk in the knowing and in the cognizance of who you are in God's image, you will know that you have every right to decide what you give your energy to. And life becomes a lot better when you're able to take that energy and take your time and direct it and allow it to flow in a way that, you know, opens your heart up to more love and opens your, just opens you up to more opportunities to be a blessing to the world. So yeah, like that's really what I wanted to say today. I was just so inspired after, you know, doing the photo shoot and just like creating some really cool visual storytelling for an upcoming book talk that I have in New England. Actually, no, you know what? I'm just going to tell you guys. I'm going to be at Brown University. Yes, that's the surprise. I will be back at my alma mater giving a live book talk next month in October, but I'll release more details about that soon come. But honestly, like my book getting into all these bookstores in Europe and Asia, me, you know, being invited to a bookshop in Dallas like this summer to do a book signing event, all of these things, they were not happening when I was working in corporate. Why? Because my time and my energy was so focused on appeasing what that entity wanted me to do. And to be quite honest, when we talk about decolonizing ourselves, our minds, our bodies, and spirits, I honestly believe that when we look at how we engage with capitalism, obviously each individual is not going to be able to like dismantle this whole system. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm really just saying that like these institutions, I don't know if I would call them an antithesis to full sovereignty, but we do have to be conscious of the fact that these institutions were created in a framework that like goes along with colonialism. All right. And so much to say on this topic. And I will talk more about this on this channel because I do think that discourse around what sovereignty looks like in practice, I think will be very beneficial to a lot of young women who are deciding, you know, what do I want to do? What do I want to be in life? And what do I want to give my time and my energy to? So yeah, like so much. I know I threw so much into, what is this, like a 15-minute video? Might even be 10 minutes once I chop it up. But yeah, like I ultimately want your main takeaway to be that yes, I left a 6-figure corporate job for this. Am I happy? Absolutely. Was it easy? Not necessarily. But I will say this, that your sovereignty and your reclamation of your time and your energy is worth more than anything. Like it's priceless. It is honestly priceless, and you deserve a chance to see what you can become and who you can be, like when you are allowing yourself to be completely free and also completely in charge of what you do with your body, what you do with your talents, and what you do with your gifts and your divine life force energy. So yeah, thanks for sitting with me for this little chat. More to come. And if you're based in the Providence or Boston area, I will be seeing you soon. Be sure to sign up for my newsletter at www.alaerelifestyle.com so that you can know more details, or so that you can receive more details about that upcoming live book talk. But in the meantime, I will see y'all soon. And yeah, thanks again for chatting with me. And I hope you enjoyed the poem. But yeah, you are a force of nature. Remember that. And I will talk to you soon. Kisses. Bye.